Okay, here we are, figured bass of the day, number 3. This one is a special challenge. It is the stepwise challenge, and if you look at the bass line, the bass moves entirely by step until the very end, which it goes 5-1. This is a very strange chord progression. Music doesn't usually work this way, but we're doing this to get lots of practice with stepwise motions in chord progressions, because that's potentially a very problematic progression. I guess that's a potentially problematic progression. Okay, so we are in G, and this is a really kind of dumb chord progression. But we're going to take this dumb chord progression and part rate it perfectly. We're going to be perfect in our dumbness. Okay. Now, do you remember that when the bass moves by step, all of the upper voices have to move contrary motion to the bass. Otherwise, you get parallel fifths and octaves. Okay? So I encourage you to look ahead and plan ahead. Okay, so if the upper voices are all moving contrary motion to the bass, and the bass is ascending this much, you know the upper voices are going to be moving down continuously. And if you don't allow enough space, they will collide at some point. The rising bass and the descending tenor, they'll just run out of space. Okay, so I'm going to suggest as much space as we can. I'm going to start the tenor right here. That way the tenor can descend quite a bit and still not collide with the bass. Okay. We could even go a little higher with the tenor if we had to. I think this one will work. So we got G, D, G, and B. Okay, so here we have 2 roots, 3rd and a 5th. So this bass moves by step. The upper voices have to move contrary motion to the nearest chord tone. So this is A, C, E. This will be C, E, and A, contrary motion. Now we're going to B, D, F sharp. And then here's C, G, E, C, E, G. There's G, E, C. Now we're going to the 5 chord, D, F sharp, D, 2 roots, and an A. And now from 5 to 6, perhaps you remember there's something special about 5 to 6. Generally, we still want to take these upper voices in contrary motion to the bass. But here, this is the leading tone, 7th scale degree. We generally want to resolve that back up to tonic. Okay, when we do that, that gives us 2/3 in the chord rather than 2 roots. Okay, and we can come out of this exactly the way we went into it, with this coming down and this going back up here. There's a 5 chord, and now we finally break from our stepwise motion and go 5-1 with a root progression of a 5th. So we have to go to G, B, D. There's our G, there's our D, and there's our B. So every one of these chords has 2 roots, a 3rd and a 5th, except for that one. When we go from 5 to 6, the 6 has a doubled 3rd because we want to resolve the leading tone up in that case. This is what it sounds like. Turn this up a little bit. Okay. That sounds way better than if we had gone everything in parallel motion. That would have been all the parallel fifths and octaves. So All right, so the moral of the story is when the bass moves by step, the upper voices move contrary motion. The one exception to that is when you move from 5 to 6, and in that one, you resolve the bass by step and the leading tone up by step. That gives you a less than typical doubling of the 6th chord in which the 3rd is doubled. All right, thanks, that's all for now.